Every time Apple unveils a new version of this, compatible cases pop up online, sometimes before the new iPhone even ships. On the day Apple unveiled the iPhone 14, these cases were ready for you to do this. But how? Do these case makers know something we don't? Here's what's going on behind the scenes. Some work with inside sources. iPhones are in development for years before they come out, and Apple doesn't actually build everything in-house. It relies on third-party manufacturers around the world. A lot of assembly happens in China, and information about what Apple's cooking up often leaks. And that's what many case makers rely on. They speak to the factories directly and work with consultants who somehow have inside knowledge about what Apple's working on. Companies like Peak Design say going this route requires a good amount of guessing and risk.
The factories that we utilize, and really I think all factories that have been making phone cases for a while, they somehow acquire information with a certain level of confidence. We don't know where they get their information from, and frankly, we just have to trust them really quite blindly.
Peak Design spent tens of thousands on material and hundreds of thousands on inventory months before Apple released its newest phone.
There simply are no guarantees until those phones are shipping. It's pretty hefty financial risk.
Even companies that make materials for cases try to anticipate what Apple's cooking up.
We never know if the new iPhone is going to be square or round, or if it's going to be skinny, or it's going to be heavy. So we need to plan for all eventualities so that our customers have got the right material at the right time.
If case makers guess correctly, they're on store shelves when the new iPhone launches. If they're wrong, the case might not fit your phone. To mitigate the risk, companies often leave literal space to be wrong. So the holes for the camera and spaces for buttons and speakers are often bigger than what's actually necessary. But not everyone plays the guessing game. Some work directly with Apple. Apple sells cases by other accessory makers, including Belkin, OtterBox, and Tech21. Analysts say Apple likely chooses partners known for their premium products.
And what they don't want to do is be associated with some cheap accessories.
The OtterBox cases launched with the new iPhone go for $49.95, while this one from Belkin is $39.95.
It's about the customer and about giving them some limited choice to make them feel good about owning Apple products.
I asked these companies how much they know in advance, and they either didn't respond or couldn't discuss particular partnerships. But how quickly they can turn around cases still matters. Belkin designs, engineers, and tests samples in-house, which speeds up the production process.
It can go from, hey, I was talking to Dalvin about this case today, to, wow, tomorrow I've got it in my hand.
Analysts say it's generally beneficial to have your cases sold on Apple's website, because when people are checking out a new iPhone, it's easy for them to add a case to the cart. Still, Apple ensures its own products are a priority. I noticed all its partners are buried below all these Apple-branded products. But the company declined to comment. And then for other companies, it's not worth the risk to be first. They wait until the new iPhone is released. They stand in line like the rest of us to buy phones, so they can test their products directly on them. The day Apple releases a new iPhone, it publishes specs including the dimensions. Companies like Catalyst use this information to start working on rugged cases, and once they have a few phones in hand, testing begins.
We have to make sure that the devil is in the details and we get everything exactly right. So precision really matters.
The benefits of testing against the actual phone are twofold. One, case makers know exactly what they're working against and can create specialized cases that help to justify a heftier price tag. And two, by the time your old case starts yellowing and looking gross, these are on the shelves. On the flip side, since iPhones tend to come out in September, they risk missing out on the holiday gadget buying season, which means they have a shorter window to release cases before the next iPhone comes out. I know you're probably more concerned about what features will be baked into the year's hottest phone, but the market for accessories, including cases, will continue to grow through 2030. The case you choose has a backstory, and regardless of what case that is, any case is better than no case.